I mean, for instance, would you take upon yourself the task of killing every spider in the world? Probably not. Well, why then exactly would you presume that every person with psychiatric pain or neurological damage, which we can't even fix, or cardiac risk, or generalized organ dysfunction, or spontaneous rupture of the appendix, or of the spontaneous collapse of a lung, spontaneous pneumothorax, or a stroke, or a rare seizure disorder, or a prion disease, or a novel viral infection, or any number of horrible things, genetic syndromes, toxic exposure, microplastics. Are you going to get rid of all those yourself? Addiction, depression, meaninglessness, 9 to 5 shift work, sleep disorder. How are you going to fix that? How are they going to fix that? Poverty, relative poverty. Essential poverty. So not starvation or privation, but like the inability to afford the funding necessary to increase IQ or to restore neurological integrity or get people to get along or enforce both free will and good behavior. How? How are you going to do that? You cannot. You cannot. Sounded like the guy in that one really bad movie that I don't remember. How are you going to cure a bunch of obscure disorders? How are you going to give people exactly what they want? How are you going to decide it? How are you going to make sure that there's enough food for everybody? Are you going to automate farming processes where they just do it themselves? How are you going to fix the climate? How are you going to fix war, grudges, the death of someone that they cared about? How do you fix that? You cannot fix that as a human. Or artificial takeover, or retribution, or use of artificial intelligence as a weapon, or nuclear holocaust. Unironic racism, genocides, profiteering, industrial complexes, the uncertainty of esoteric spiritual phenomena. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about all this? How are you going to solve everything? How are you going to keep every person's room clean? How are you going to keep every situation as perfectly well organized and exciting and fun as it's all supposed to be? How are you going to keep glass from being on the ground because an alcoholic threw a bottle one time and then some kid comes on and steps on it and he happens to have hemophilia, which is a blood clotting disorder, and he bleeds out and a 7-year-old kid dies and his mom is like crying and there's nothing you can do? Or you're door dashing and you're looking at your phone and you run over a child, like, or someone's dog. Like, you can't give them their dog back. Like, their dog's paralyzed or like fucking ruptured intestines. That's their dog, bro. What the fuck do you do? A truck skids and it crushes you. You just got a promotion. You were gonna get married. Like the story, the plot arc of your life, your main character moment was on the way. You had just pitched a major TV show. Like, it was all gonna go well, and then fucking fuck you. That's what the reality says. Are you serious? What about the solar flare of our lifetime knocking out the entire internet? What happens to everything that you cared about? What if you overdose on a drug that you really like? What if you don't overdose and that drug takes over your love for the world and everyone that you actually thought you cared about? Or your girlfriend leaves you and you have a connective tissue disorder, so you can't mog the other guy because you can't like go to the gym hard enough, or work a hard enough job, or you don't have a big enough brain, or you have a huge brain and you're jacked and you look smacks and mew and joke, but because you're severely autistic, you can't socially do the sales job that your dad had set up for you. And yeah, you fumbled her. She was a legend, the one and only, and now you're fucked. Huh? What are you gonna do? Your friend's more popular than you on social media. She's prettier than you, and what are you gonna do? Not shit without a biological, super intelligent Matryoshka brain. Build that shit into the core of Earth and transcend, become God. It's the only way. Look at this squirrel, bro. He's become God. I'm fucking getting a little bit delirious right now. Let's go.